Hello and welcome to my studio. In this video I'm going to show you how I made this picture. The combination of out of focus elements in the background with a pin-sharp foreground can result in an interesting image. Add some careful lighting on the glass and the end result can be a celebration. And in this video I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. Okay, so this is what I've got set up so far. This is my subject, so I've got some glasses here and a bottle of champagne, and I've put all that on this piece of perspex. And this is a very matte black surface, which I think will complement this sort of subject. Then at the back here I have some fairy lights and some baubles and so on, and we'll just turn those on. There we are. And this is to give some detail in the background that I can throw out of focus. Okay, so as usual I'm going to be using a full frame digital SLR, which is this one, with a 24-70 zoom lens on the front and a flash sync trigger on the top. Now the camera itself is tethered into Capture One software, so it's easy to see the results as we go along. Okay, so the only other thing that I'm going to need is a tripod. So here we are, and I'm just going to set this up about here somewhere. There we are. And we'll set up the shot. So pop the camera on the top of the tripod and line it up. So I'm just going to go to the 70mm end on the lens, and we'll have a go at focusing that up. There we are. So with that done, what I can do now is turn the camera on, and the software has recognized the camera, and these are the settings that I have on the camera at the moment. So it's in full manual mode. I have a shutter speed of 1/250th of a second, which is the flash sync speed for that camera, ISO 100, and at the moment I'm using an aperture of f8. Now that will probably change, but it will be good enough to get a starting point with. So with those settings, what I'm going to do is just capture an image and see what I get. Okay, so we can see that we're getting some of the fairy lights in the background here and a few highlights in the glass, but there's nothing else really to speak of from the house lights. So I think we're probably safe at the moment to proceed and have a go at lighting this. So for the light I'm going to use this 500 joule studio flash. This is battery powered, makes it quite easy to set up, and I'm going to place this about here so that it's a fair distance from the subject and mostly in front of it. So we'll just turn that on. There we go. And at an arbitrary energy level, I'll just grab an image and we'll see what we get. Okay, so the first thing to notice about this image is that the foreground here is fairly underexposed, so I think I need to add at least a couple of stops. And the other thing is that the out of focus lights in the background aren't really that prominent at the moment. Okay, so to solve one problem at a time, the first thing I'm going to do is add a couple of stops of energy to that light, just to bring up the foreground. There we go. We'll grab that again. Yes, that's a bit better from an exposure point of view, but the quality of the light here is very specular. And for a glass subject, that's never really a good thing. So in order to take that down a little, what I'm going to do is place some diffusion material around here somewhere. So to do that, I've set up this C-stand with an arm on it, and I have some diffusion material here. There we are. So just pull that down and just pop this up in the air a little. Okay, so now with this in place, I'll grab another image and we'll see what we get this time. So that's a bit of an improvement in terms of the quality of light. So this is what we had before, and this is what we've got now. But I think I can still improve that a little more. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is concentrate the light on the diffusion material. If I just turn the modelling light on that head, like so, you should be able to see the spread of the light on this sheet. So if I now adjust the zoom reflector on the front of the head, you'll see it become more and more concentrated. There we are. So I'll just turn out the modelling light and we'll grab another image. Yes, I think that's a bit of an improvement. This is what we had before, and this is what we've got now. So we're getting a very nice highlight in the glass, which is the sort of thing that I want for the foreground. The background, however, isn't quite right yet. I think the lights in the background here are just a little bit too sharp. So what I'm going to do is really decrease the depth of field, and I can do that by changing the aperture. So from f8 I'm going to go all the way down to 2.8. Now that's a 3-stop change, so to compensate for that I will take 3 stops of energy out of the light. And I'll grab that again. There we are. So this is now much more like the sort of thing that I want. You can see the difference that we've achieved there between that one and that one. But one of the other consequences of doing that is that if I now grab an image without any flash at all, so I'll just temporarily turn the flash off and grab one, you can see from this that we're actually getting quite a lot of contamination from the house lights. So I'm afraid from now on the house lights will have to go out. Okay, so with the house lights out, let's grab that again without a flash and we'll just see what we get. There, that's a lot cleaner. So this is what we had before, and you can see all of the unwanted highlights in the glass here from the house lights, and then on this one with the house lights out, all that's gone. Okay, so what I can do now is turn the flash back on and we'll grab that again. Okay, so in this image we're very nearly there, I think. The only thing I'd like to do is just add a little fill-in to the other side of this bottle. And to do that, I'm just going to use this card, which I have on a piece of wood. I'm just going to pop this on the edge of the desk here. There we are. And that'll just recycle some of the light. So I'll just grab that again. There, that seems to have worked very well. That's what I had before, and this is what I've got now. So besides the bottle having another highlight on the side here, which is quite nice, I've also picked up a highlight on the glass, which I don't think is too bad a thing at all. That seems to have worked very well. Okay, so with that now captured, it just remains to go into Photoshop and do the bare minimum of post-production. So here we are in Photoshop, and I've loaded up the file of the image that I captured earlier. So the first thing I'm going to do is just make a copy of this file. And I find the easiest way to do that is to just go onto the layer here and right-click the mouse, ask for a duplicate layer, but ask for a new document. And we'll just call that Celebration. There we go. So now Photoshop has made me a new file, Celebration, so I can close down the camera original and edit this file. So what do I need to do? Well, I just need to have a look at the image and generally clean it up. There's a few bits in here, there's support at the back here, some bits of cable and so on. So just a few little bits of tidying up to do. And also I think I'd like to just see how this fits into the final crop. So I think I'm going to actually start by applying a crop to the image. So I just go onto the cropping tool here, and I'm going to use a specific ratio, 16:9, because I'm using this for video. And what I want to do is just make the whole of the image slightly bigger, just so I have some more space around the top and bottom of the main subject. So something like that. And now I can do all this tidying up all at the same time. So the easiest way will be just to add another layer, and then on this layer I'm just going to paint in with black all the bits that I don't want. So black selected as foreground colour. I'll pick a paintbrush, make that a reasonable size. I'm going to make it quite hard to start with, something like that. There we are. And we'll just paint these bits in. And the piece along the top here that I don't want. And the other side. And there we have it. So the combination of the out of focus elements in the background with the pin-sharp foreground and some careful lighting on the glass there has resulted in a really nice image, I think. And I think overall that has worked very well. Okay, well I hope you liked watching how I made that image, and if you like watching these sorts of things, do click on the other images as they appear, and don't forget to subscribe. Oh, and hit the like button. Thank you very much for watching.